Here we go. Getting set up to go live from Zoom. And I'm going to put the link in Twitter and on Facebook. So if you bear with me for a minute, once this finishes prepping, we'll put the link up and then I'll begin the report tonight. It's taking a long time, actually. I wonder what's going on. Okay. And here we go. Let's see if I have a link for this for tonight. Hi guys, just bear with me. I did not make this announcement. I kind of just decided to do this. So just bear with me if you can. Tweet. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. My computer's, somebody's in my computer screwing around with me. Come on. It's 8 p.m. 8 o'clock Eastern time. Okay. Oh, man. I'll be right with everybody. I'm just trying to let some people know that I'm going live here. So let's see, live, oops. POTUS report, I can't spell for anything. I did not decide to do, I decided to do this just to see how this goes. So it's 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Okay, let's see how that goes. All right, where did everybody go? Here we go. Hi there. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Maria, King, Hacienda, Deirdre. Hi, how are you guys doing? Sorry, I'm getting a little late start here, but let's just see if I can start my recording. Okay. So hi, everyone. Welcome to the GoldFish Report. I'm your host, Louisa. Hi, William. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody in the chat. I decided to go live tonight. I may do this every Friday night to do POTUS reports, to review the previous week. Yes, Christ consciousness to all. That's so nice. Yeah, thank you, William. Thank you for that super chat. Oh, we need it so badly, folks. We really need to help, support the channel big time. I am going to do the POTUS report tonight, and I don't know how everybody feels. I'd like to have your feedback. That's why I wanted to go live. I wanted to get the, feedback from viewers on what you think about this impeachment trial. I have to tell you, I know what's going on. It's political theater. I know that's why they're doing this. This is all just like, I'll tell you, if you watch Q, right? Q says it's all like, Project Looking Glass, right? Operation Looking Glass. They already know this, what's going to happen, the outcome. It's a script basically. You know what I mean? Hi, John Doe. Hi, William. Yeah, and it's a script that's like playing out already. And so I have a feeling this is just theatrics, really, but it's painful to watch because there's people who still need to be awakened. And and of course, if we're going to have Nasara Jassara, if we're going to have any of those principles, applied, if we're going to restore our original republic and get rid of the USA corporation, the president has to do this legitimately. So for those of us who kind of get what the president's doing, it's a little bit painful to sit and watch and wait because it's it's all smoke and mirrors, exactly. But I have to tell you, even knowing that, I would put it on and I would get triggered. I couldn't watch this. Did you guys see Senator Schumer, Chuck Schumer, talking to an invisible man. I gotta find this clip for you before I start the POTUS report. I mean, I don't know. I have to tell you, it was pretty ridiculous. I have to find this and play it for you. And then you have Adam Schiff saying, that he reads minds. Is this for real, folks? This has to be, this has to be political theater. Absolutely. But I have to play this in case you did not see it this week. Chuck Schumer's in the they're in there talking in the House, I'm sorry, in the Senate, talking about the articles of impeachment, and he gets up, he's walking in, and he's talking to some he's telling a ghost, or an invisible person, to get out of his seat, and you can see it. I got to play this clip for you. It's funny as heck, and you have to wonder, these people don't have their heads screwed on straight. No wonder they're doing this impeachment hoax. They're out of their minds. I mean, it's so bizarre. I have to show you this clip. I'm scrolling to find it as quick as I can. There's so much to talk about, folks. I don't want to make this a really long program, but I have a feeling we're not going to have much choice because there's so much to talk about. Please let me find this clip because it is it is funny as it is pathetic that we have, Congress, we have congressional representatives that talk to invisible people. Um, I know I retweeted it several times. Boy, I just tweet so much stuff. It's amazing that I have to find it. Sorry, I have to do this while we're live, but it's really compelling. If I can't find it, I'll just leave it alone. But boy, we tweet so much. It's amazing. Okay. Oh no, that's not the one. There's another protester. That wasn't the one that I wanted to screen share. There was a protester that interrupted the yeah, that interrupted the trial there. But I'm telling you, I was triggered. I felt triggered. Okay, I found it here. I just felt triggered myself watching this, even though I know what's going on. It just, the fact that they're lying, they're lying. Uh, do you know what the Schiff doctrine? Does anybody know what the Schiff doctrine is? The Schiff doctrine is if at first you do not succeed, lie again. That's all they were doing. That's all they have left is lie again. But I couldn't watch more than like 3 minutes of it at a time. So I would just be triggered. I was just like, I think it's just post-traumatic stress. So I couldn't really watch it. I was really triggered. Did anybody get triggered by watching it? Yeah, mentally ill. Schumer's invisible friend. All right, I'm going to screen share that now because I found it and it's really funny. And I just want, in case people missed it this week, I really wanted you to see this. It's just bizarre. It's really bizarre. Are you ready? Here it is. Chuck Schumer comes walking down the aisle here. See that? And that's his seat right at the end. He tells the invisible person to get out of his chair. And I want you to watch it again. Just watch it again because you have to see it again to believe it. I don't know who he was talking to, the first invisible person on the right. And now, see? What was that? Did anybody not think that was strange? Okay, I just had to play that because just in case you missed it. Theatrics, just complete theatrics. It's unbelievable this week. So did anybody see that? Air conversations with entities, exactly. Oh, you can't. Susan Bell says, I can't watch because I keep talking back to the TV. I know. What's going to happen is there's going to be bricks thrown at everyone's going to have a brick in their TV because this is just triggering everybody. It's crazy. It's really, really hard to watch because you know why? Because that it's the unraveling of these people. You know that it's the unraveling of the deep state and that this whole thing, like today, right? We have RT reporting, Spygate update. At least 2 FISA warrants to spy on Carter Page were not valid, DOJ says. They did not meet, let's see what it says here, that they did not meet the criteria. Mhm. Insufficient predication to establish probable cause to believe that Page was acting as an agent of a foreign power. There was insufficient predication to establish probable cause, folks. But I'm going to tell you something. This happens every day in courtrooms because there's no oversight and accountability. There isn't. Did you know that? Guess what? This is, it's not news to me because I've been dragged through the courts for 8 years. I know they're going to make up whatever they want. They want to destroy you. They have all the power of the state to do it. And they'll do it. And they abuse their power. They abuse their authority. The president did not abuse his power. The president had a perfect phone call. He had 2 perfect phone calls, in fact, and there was no pressure. The quid pro quo was from Biden. Biden's the one who did it. We all know this. So I'm not going to rehash it. Now, look, there's some people who make some comments in the comment section of the videos. If you have nothing nice to say, then certainly you can voice your opinion, but please be respectful about it. I think that it's interesting how people will make comments. They'll say, "Oh, well, Trump is this or Trump is that," but you don't provide any evidence in your comments. And when I look at your profile page, you're just a troll. You're just an empty head in an empty suit. You just want to have something to say because you're nobody, right? Because if you really wanted to make a legitimate comment, right, then you'd have some content on your channel, right? You'd have something to show for who you are and where your opinions come from. But you have no value in your opinion when you just come in and you verbally defecate in the comment section of the videos. But hey, right. So let's move along. So yeah, some are under hypnosis, and folks, some are maybe are clones, some are doubles, some are heavily medicated. We did hear some reports. I reported on this a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, about the pharmacist in DC who was talking about all of the prescriptions that he fills for all the members of Congress. How do you like that? Quite interesting. So I'm going to start moving along, and I'm going to start with a video that Q posted. And I think I think people are gonna like this a lot. And I'm going to screen share that. And I think you'll like getting started for our POTUS report this week. Let me do that.
The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. The time for empty talk is over. Now arrives the hour of action. From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. Every decision will be made to benefit American workers and American families. America will start winning again, winning like never before. I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down. Do not allow anyone to tell you that it cannot be done. No challenge can match the heart and fight and spirit of America. We will not fail. Our country will thrive and prosper again. Your voice, your hopes, and your dreams will define our American destiny. When America is united, America is totally unstoppable.
So I thought I would start with that because that was a video that Q had posted, and it was also in the report that I'm going to be including right now. We're going to start with the 20th. This is the president's. Now, I'm going to tell you, folks, there's some very, very, very long transcripts here, and I'm not going to go through all of it. Look at this. Look how long I have to scroll on this one. I have to just make sure we have, let me see. This is huge. Look at this transcript. So I'm not talking about the whole thing. This is from the 20th. This is the president's remarks to the American Farm Bureau Federation annual convention and trade show. I'm going to highlight just some of the things that came out of this because he's talking about making deals for that include our farmers, that are good for America, that bring in jobs. And it's not only agriculture, but it has to do with also infrastructure, bridge building, all kinds of things like that. But of course, the president is talking about the economy. He's talking about the unemployment. And let me just go over. I have to just scroll back down again. Talking about trade. I mean, this is a very serious president. He's very serious about building up the United States again and bringing business back, where all the other previous administrations sent jobs overseas with NAFTA, which is why it was failed. The president signed and Congress signed into law the USMCA trade deal and also these trade deals with China first. He's really accomplishing great things for the United States, finally, for the people. And, if you want to criticize the president, put something, put your facts, cite your facts of what you want to criticize the president. I'm highlighting his accomplishments because it's good for the United States. So let's just talk about, he's talking about fixing the problems. Exactly. I mean, we've been selling out the United States. We've had Congress. We've had all kinds of people taking, pay for play, selling out the United States, traders, really, of course. And we were selling products and not getting tariffs on it in the past, but everybody was collecting tariffs from us. They took advantage of the United States, and the president knows that. The president has acted on this, and the president's saying, I want an even playing field here. And that's why finally, they're a little bit upset with Trump because they all got away with it. They all took advantage of the traitors who were running the country before. Okay, so Trump is trying to, as the CEO that he is, he's trying to, run a tight ship, and that's what he's doing. So China stole trade secrets from the American agriculture and plundered our intellectual property, illicitly subsidized grain product procedures, and installed one barrier after another to block out our farmers and to block out our ranchers. So they're changing that stuff. There's lots of good things for farmers. We have to get rid of the GMOs. In my opinion, I think there's no studies done to show that they are safe for humans. So we shouldn't be eating them unless we know that they're safe. So this is a lot. I'm not going to go into all of it, though. You can go to the blog at the goldfishreport.blogspot.com, and you can check out this very, very long transcript. But again, here we persuaded Japan to slash tariffs on $7 billion of U.S. agriculture, as I just stated. Nobody thought it was possible. In any case, it will be completely duty-free, and you've never heard that before. So that's a $40 billion deal. So he's doing great work for the United States, making sure that the commerce and the trade keeps going. And eventually this is going to this is going to set the basis for a new global currency reset, for a new U.S. Treasury note to be introduced, which I think is forthcoming. Here we go. Let's talk about, okay, so tax cuts, trade reforms, regulatory reductions, things like that. Since his election, the United States has gained more than 7 million jobs. This is the part that I wanted to talk about. The unemployment rate is now 3.5%. This is the lowest. Here we go. It's on the back. Okay. 3.5% unemployment. It's the lowest record for African Americans, Hispanic, Asian Americans, record lows for unemployments, even for veterans and disabled Americans, record low unemployment. Women, there's more women in the workforce now. I have issue with that a little bit because I still feel that there needs to be, a nurturing of the children at home. Call me traditional, but
and conservative, and that's who I am. So, that's what I believe. I think there has to be a good, healthy balance for women. And let's not forget women who end up, divorced and have to somehow become single mothers and end up having to struggle between, trying to provide childcare as a single parent, let alone as a family. So that is the weakest link in our economy right now, is trying to help people who come from divorced families. Those are the ones that are going to struggle the most, because they're going to be the most vulnerable, because women do make sacrifices that men don't make when it comes to child rearing and interrupting careers, and especially when you both share the values of staying home with the family and taking care of the family, if you can afford to do that. But again, also, young Americans entering the workforce. According to the president, 2 million millennials have gotten jobs and are getting 5% increases every year. So that's really great. So it's great that millennials are getting a job. Yay! They can move out. Real median household incomes is at the highest level ever recorded. And, just great stuff, folks. So please go to the blog and take a look. I just need to go check on everybody who of the chemtrails. There wasn't, and I have to tell you, thanks, Jesse. Yeah, I know. I like it when when I'm happy too. Sometimes I'm not so happy. I know. Haters hate because they can only masturbate. I can't believe I read that out loud. Next time I won't read them out loud. That's pretty funny. Oh, man. The Antichrist. Look, I think there's a lot of things. I do think that there's a lot of prophecy things that are playing out, but whatever. I'm not going to comment on that, because who cares? Who cares what I think about the prophecies? It's not what I'm here to talk about. If you want to know my opinion on that, maybe I'll create another show for that. But I'm just not talking about my opinion on the prophecies. Biblical prophecies. Okay. Or any, religion. Thanks, Barbara Rose Star. Yeah, I see, I'm so glad you guys are all here, Sherry and all these wonderful people. Thanks so much for following us. Let's continue to talk a little bit more about what's going on with the president. And I'm going to screen share another accomplishment of the president this week. Just is a fact. You don't have to like that he's got all these accomplishments. It might trigger you that he has all these accomplishments, but they're real, folks. So let's take a look. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is the new logo for our United States Space Force, Department of the Air Force. This is it. I have a feeling this is the Pleiades over here. And this might actually be the Andromeda constellation. I don't know. It could be Boots, or maybe, now is it Orion? Maybe that's the Orion belt there. And this is, it's kind of funny. You got to look at those details. You think it's just, random? No, I don't think it's random. But what concerns me is this triangle. Is this like another, lizard, tongue kind of thing? Like NASA has. It's like that forked tongue. I don't know, folks. I don't know. But, it's nice colors. I think it's good. Whatever. There's the star. Is that our sun? That's our sun. Right? So very lovely, right? You like that? What does everybody think about that? You guys like that new logo? Barbara, little sister, yeah. You guys are great. Do you guys like that logo? Yeah? Hey, look, the president's accomplishing things. There's space policy. The GoldFish Report reports on people who say they're contactees, people who have, there's one report of someone who's actually been here, who is not born here, not incarnated here, but who has traveled here. I do interview Audrey Ewis. So yeah, it looks like Andromeda, exactly. Right. SG1, yeah. M45 is the Pleiades constellation. So I wanted to kind of get that out of the way up front. And I have to tell you, I have been, pretty triggered over all of this. It's still very frustrating to watch the insanity of what's happening in the Senate. And, people all over the world just still are following mainstream media, and they're buying it. They're really buying it, like Trump did something. And, the bottom line is there is no crime, so you must commit. I mean, I'm sorry, you must acquit. It's a little late. There's no, yes, it's a triangle. 369. Hi, Sherry. 369. Yeah, I know. I mean, it could be that, Sherry. It could be that, but you know, if you look at NASA, they've got that fork, that little red. It's like the forked tongue of the serpent. I don't know. I don't know. I just think there could be something more. But you know what? We're gonna move on because we have a lot to. There's so much to talk about, and I don't want to talk about all of it. I'm just gonna highlight, you know, a little bit of everything here. Okay, so you have the president here, 3 years fighting for you. This is the video I just played for you. So that's the video. Americans are sick of the swamp, and there's no question. We are sick of it. We are tired of it. We are done with all the corruption. We're done with the two-tiered judicial system, the fake judicial system, in fact, because it's not even based in law. It's we're a corporation, so each of us are, and we're under, you know, admiralty law, so we're under law of the sea. We're not under law of the land. It's all been hijacked. It's all screwed up. It really is. But here, you know, this is what the president said: over 7 million jobs, unemployment, all of this stuff. Go to the blog, check this out. Desperate Democrats are demanding a do-over. Adam Schiff, you know, House Democrats didn't make their case. If you're going to impeach, you have to have high crimes and misdemeanors. You have to have laws broken, and there were none at all. And this week, Rudy Giuliani has announced that he's going to start, over the next few weeks, he's going to start releasing, you know, information to show what all these dealings, who was involved in Ukraine and who was getting paid, and all of this. There's emails, there's all kinds of evidence. He's going to start releasing it. So get ready. There's lots of stuff going on. So not a single witness has provided evidence to support his assertion, because there is none. There's no evidence. The whole thing is a hoax. But this is how the legal system can literally team up against you. You can use the forces of government and abuse that power to abuse citizens. And they do it. They're doing it to the president right now. And they've done it to us. They've done it to me. 8 years I've been in this litigation against the deep state elements in the judiciary. Okay. Here we have the president, beautiful picture. Marine One flies through the Swiss Alps en route to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, which I'm going to report on briefly. We have a proclamation by the president on National Sanctity of Human Life Day, which is a wonderful proclamation. Every person, the born and unborn, the poor, the downcast, the disabled, the infirm, and the elderly, has inherent value. Although each journey is different, no life is without worth or is inconsequential. The rights of all people must be defended. On National Sanctity of Human Life Day, our nation proudly and strongly reaffirms our commitment to protect the precious gift of life at every stage, from conception to natural death. I do have a clip of the president, actually, that I'll screen share right here, talking at the March for Life today. So let me just play a little bit of this for everybody. I'm sorry I'm not seeing you guys right now in the chat, because I've got too many things open on the computer, but I will come back to the chat in just a minute.
And Representatives Steve Scalise, Chris Smith, Ralph Abraham, Warren Davidson, Bob Latta,
a little too much.
John Joyce, Lloyd Smucker. Don't mind.
Sorry, I did have it queued. It just seemed to be seems to be having a live stream. Yeah, sorry about that. Something happened and I where'd it go? Interesting. Shouldn't be playing there.
Together we must protect, cherish, and defend the dignity and the sanctity of every human life.
That's weird. Oh my God, what happened? All right, folks, I have to remove that. Did I lose my live stream? I hope not. Okay, it says I'm still live. I just had a major internet interruption, but there was the president talking today, the March for Life, and it was really nice to hear him talk about that. So let me move along to the next topic of there's more to that proclamation. You can go there and take a look at it. Let me just go back to my live chat. Are you guys still there? Everybody still in live chat? Yeah, propaganda is legal, and that's because of the Smith-Mundt Act was repealed by President Obama in 2012. The Smith-Mundt Act was a law that banned the government using propaganda against its citizens, but they overturned it. Obama overturned it in 2012. So that's what happened there. Okay, yeah, we are okay. I don't know what just happened. I just had this interruption with the live stream. Yeah, exactly. If you're against life, what the hell are you for? Exactly. I get it. This is the truth. So let me move along to continuing the. Let me see. Yeah, I'll screen share the next. I hope my microphone's working, because I did notice that the sound wasn't coming through my microphone. Actually, let me just double check this. Yeah. Can you guys just tell me if the sound is okay on this? Can somebody just type in there, Barbara, yeah, it's okay? All right, thank you guys. Thanks, because I lost the connection. See, this is why, I never really went live before in the past, because there's always these interruptions doing things live, but we'll see. Okay, so the president was, as you know, at the World Economic Forum this week in Davos, Switzerland. There were lots of, he was having bilateral meetings with a lot of world leaders. There was Prime Minister Khan of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. They're specifically looking forward to, let me see if this was, again, I apologize for scrolling, but let me see. Yeah. They're interested in the president playing a role in creating peace over there between them and Pakistan, and of course between Pakistan and Afghanistan. They're trying to help Afghanistan with a peaceful transition, working with the Taliban leaders there to create a peaceful transition. The peace is the prize. That's what this president's about. Peace is the prize, and these deals need to be a win-win for everybody, and he's trying to do that. He's trying to bring economic stability to everybody, and when you have these really good trade deals, then everyone's currency is more on an equal playing field, and then when everyone's currency is on an equal playing field, then there'll be much more trade between countries, and countries that are more impoverished will be able to be more prosperous, and that's how it works. I'm not an expert on economics, but I follow the president's policy and Larry Kudlow's Schumpeterian economic philosophy. So that's where that comes from. So they're looking for the president to play a role, I guess some kind of intermediary role to help resolve those issues, especially in Kashmir with India, as well as the issues with Afghanistan. Okay. The trade deals are huge. He's making deals all over the world, folks. He's bringing people together. This is just the most amazing thing. Of course, we signed the USMCA deal. We've got Mexico, Canada. That's a massive numbers we're talking about. Deals with Japan, $40 billion that deal with agriculture there. South Korea, tremendous deal as well. Well, they turned it into something good. So at Davos, they're meeting with world leaders. And some of the people who he's meeting with, and let me just scroll down this very quickly. Yeah, because I want to get through this. Some of the key people, he's meeting with many key corporations. Look how long this transcript is. This is why I'm like, you just got to go to the blog. Okay, so I'll just go to the next one. Very huge. So the president was meeting. He really called this a blue collar boom. That's what he called this. What's going on, how great the economy is doing in many different ways. Yeah, thanks, Jammer Greg. Appreciate it. So the president met with the president Samaruga, the Swiss Confederation. I didn't know anybody. They called themselves and referred to themselves as the Swiss Confederation. They had bilateral relations with them. They're concerned about including, good, I would say, diplomatic relations, including offices in the United States, economic ties. They're concerned, they had bilateral talks about that and about the environment. And, global warming was one of their issues. And I just don't think that, I don't think the president, believes in global warming because, these are just natural cycles and we're not having an impact on the earth. In that way. We may be in other ways, but I don't think the president agrees with that. In Davos, Switzerland, the president met with heads of major corporations that they're doing huge deals with, including Novartis, Nokia. Nokia also has the Nokia Bell Labs in New Jersey. Who knew that they took that over, right? But, Sony, QIA, Ericsson. Ericsson is got the 5G, and I don't know, folks. Chalk says like a chocolate dessert from Switzerland, right? Sherry, you're funny. Eric's, 5G is a big issue, and I have to tell you that GoldFish Report is going to be doing a special live stream with Miles Johnston from the Basis Project coming up in the next week or two. We're going to be talking about 5G in depth, and there's a lot to be concerned about. Hi, William Hanna. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks. Something where I'm judged is nothing for an impossible YouTube platform. As long as we're here, we're going to keep doing what we can. Thanks for that super chat. I appreciate it. 555. And 555 represents the change. It represents the change for power to the people. That's what it represents. There's also, so we're going to talk about 5G because it's a huge issue. Miles Johnson is an engineer, so he has a lot of, very specific information about, as an engineer point of view, how to talk, to talk about 5G. He's very concerned about it and does things, is very proactive in terms of protecting himself from microwave frequencies. Temesk International, which is owned by Singapore government, Kuwait Investment Authority, their wealth fund, and Royal Dutch Shell. These are examples of the major multi international companies that the president has been meeting with. He's there making deals. He wants to do what's good for America. He wants to do what's good. And you know what? And what's good for the partners who are involved in making the deals. He wants everybody to win. He wants it to be a win-win deal. He is the art of the deal maker. Let's not forget about that. So these are just some of the highlights from Davos, Switzerland, who he met with and who he was meeting with and making deals with. I'm also going to screen share some other things from this week as well. The president obviously declared a North Dakota national disaster area. So this has to do with flooding and so forth. There's more talks on more bilateral talks here. If you want to go through the details of them, you should just go to the blog because I just don't have the time to, read out everything. We'd be here all night. So you can go there and do that. We'll go down to the West Wing. 5 times Adam Schiff just totally made it up today. This was on the 22nd of January. Democrats have based their whole impeachment sham on the word and judgment of Representative Adam Schiff, who pleaded the left's case for 2.5 hours before the Senate. It wasn't a good idea. This is when I was getting triggered. I mean, you just, like I said, the Schiff doctrine is when all else fails, lie again, and that's what they're doing. That's just what over and over and over again. And it was imminent. It was so imminent. We had to push this impeachment because it was imminent and there's no evidence. I mean, it's insanity, folks. It's just absolute insanity. There's no evidence of any wrongdoing. The president did nothing wrong, and they are, they're literally, persecuting him. So it's tough to watch, because even if it's part of the whole plan and deal, it's a roasting, and it's not a comfortable one. It's not easy to do. So here's a little summary of Trump's triumphs at the World Economic Forum while the Democrats pursued baseless impeachment. So again, bigger triumph than anyone could have imagined a year ago. Counter staging of President Trump. With regard to, it's funny because it was a juxtaposition. So here he is making all these great deals, not just for America, but for all of our partners that we're involved with around the world. And back at home, you have the Democrats trying to impeach him, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to take away our ability to make the decision of who we want president next year. They don't want us to determine that. They want to take that right away from us. And that's basically what Rudy Giuliani was saying today. Rudy Giuliani has come out with his own, and I'm going to screen share that for you in just a minute. Baseless subpoena and all kinds of things that are going on. You can go there and take a look at the rest of these. There's a proclamation to further positive adjustment to competition from imports of large residential washers. So subheadings, what is this? Tariffs, washer parts. And he did talk about this. I mean, the president was up there talking about toilets and washing machines and all kinds of things that, you need to, it's part of trade. Everybody's home needs to have bathtubs, sinks, toilets, it's all part of the trade deals. And here you have the president taking action to end birth tourism, to protect national security and curb the abuse of public resources. Exactly. So the administration is taking action to end birth tourism, a practice in which aliens, and I love how they continue to use the word aliens as if they're trying to prepare us for something. Did anybody notice that? I know they usually put illegal aliens, but here they just write aliens as if, they're trying to maybe, prepare us for something. I just find it interesting. They usually write illegal in front of that to kind of distinguish what kind of alien you're talking about. But here, there's no distinction. Okay, so which aliens travel to the United States with the purpose of giving birth just to gain citizenship for their children. Organizations bring in large numbers of aliens to systematically exploit this loophole and unfairly provide citizenship for their children. Most birth tourism groups charge tens of thousands of dollars, which often doesn't include coverage for medical care. Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, look, residents can't even get medical care. I have no health insurance. I can't walk in and get free health care anywhere. I work, longer hours than most people. And, I don't have health care, so it's like, why should illegals come here and get free health care? No way. Unbelievable. The State Department will stop issuing temporary visitor visas to applicants who are traveling to the United States to engage in birth tourism. The administration's new rule makes clear that attempting to improperly provide citizenship for one child's birth through birth tourism is not a legitimate grounds for obtaining a visitor visa. Visas will be issued to aliens. Again, look how it's distinctive, right? Whose purpose of travel is consistent with permissible business and pleasure activities. Citizens in the crown jewel of the American immigration system and must be vigorously protected from exploitation. And this is protecting national security as well. You can go through this. It's really a big problem because it does tax our system. It exploits our benefit system. And of course, even, many Americans can't afford it themselves. So it's not fair. Here we have a statement from the press secretary regarding the visit of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel. This was put out on January 23rd, so that was yesterday. President Trump will welcome Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel to the White House on January 28th. Benjamin Gatz, blue and white chairman, has also accepted the president's invitation to come to Washington. The United States and Israel are strong partners. Well, you don't have to tell us that. And Prime Minister's visit is an opportunity to discuss our shared regional and national security interests. Yeah, they're more like bedfellows is what they are. Okay, and so here we have one more. Okay, so this was just another statement regarding the birth tourism visa regulation rule change. You can go here, this rule change. So what's going to happen is this rule change is necessary to enhance public safety, national security, and the integrity of our immigration system. So beginning January 24th, which is today, the State Department will no longer issue temporary visitor B1, B2 visas to aliens seeking to enter the United States for birth tourism. The practice of traveling to the United States to secure automatic and permanent American citizenship for their children by giving birth on American soil. I don't know if they're planning on, having all women, and they're going to have to. And there's going to be people who are going to complain it's discriminatory, but of course only women can give birth, so it can't really be discriminatory. But, what are they going to do? Give every woman who travels to the United States a pregnancy test? They might. I don't know. I have no idea how they're going to do that. So this is, obviously a priority of the administration. I'm going to stop screen sharing for just a minute and check back in with all of our, yeah. Yeah, you see? So you pay $1,100 per month on health insurance alone. Exactly. Well, let me tell you something, folks. When you end up spending $100,000 for a divorce, how can you possibly afford, buying your own health care? When the legal system is so out of control, when the legal system is so predatory that a mom with two little girls has to spend $100,000 to get a divorce. I mean, from a W-2 employee husband, right? But how does that happen? How does it last 8 years? How does it cost over $100,000 and then you get fined, the other 100,000 from their legal fees, and you're not the one who filed? So you know what? There's no way we can afford, if you're, it's so stacked against us because there's no oversight and accountability in the court system. And President Trump is trying to change that. And if anybody noticed, you'll notice that Jeff Sessions is going back to the state of Alabama, and he's going to clean up the judiciary in the state of Alabama. And that is a very good thing. So, yeah, right. I pay for the insurance and I cannot afford the treatment. Yeah. Outer space. Exactly. I'm trying to just keep up with some of the comments from our viewers. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. 5G. Are you kidding me? That's probably what burned my face. Did you guys see that? I had screen shared that. I don't know if I have a picture. I can show it to you. I had really bad, it seemed like radiation burns on my face. And from 5G, from these towers. Not good. I don't know what it was or whether it was, it was really strategically placed right outside my house, actually. Yes, it's an extortion system, not a legal system. Yes, you're absolutely right. So, this is why President Trump has nominated over 150, I think we're up to 170 new federal judges. And we have to work on the state level and clean this up because there is no faith in the judiciary, none whatsoever. There is honorable. You know how they put honorable before their title? What's so honorable about being predatory? What's so honorable about preying on people, on American families, and destroying them? And you know why? Because they're monetizing the dockets. They take the dockets, so naturally they make more money. Judges have an 801k account, which they get a percentage of all their dockets. It's a conflict of interest, folks. There's no way you can be unbiased and sit there and financially benefit from it. So you better wake up. People better realize this is what's happening. And of course the lawyers, they're so out of control. They're so damn greedy that there's no oversight. You're asking them to police themselves. And this is what Governor Christie said one year. They police themselves. How do you like that? Why don't we police ourselves? Are they so special? Are attorneys so special that they can police themselves, but we can't police ourselves? Yeah. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, the money goes to the lawyers. Of course it does. Yeah. They're not human. Yeah. They have to be. They have to be some, low life form of life of some kind, or synthetic life, to exploit humans the way they do. It's unbelievable. It's hard even to believe that they're human. It really, really is. Yes, I'm still itching because I'm still healing from all these burns that I've had. So here we go. We have more. So that's the 23rd. Yeah, we talked about that. Um, talked about that. I'm trying to get through this. I really wanted to make this short, but I'm working on it, folks. I'm working on it. So here we have the president's remarks to the nation's mayors on transforming America's communities. You can go here and scroll down, and you can take a look at it yourself, because this is, again, a long transcript. And, you know, they're talking about Ben Carson and what he's doing there, and doing a good job, and different mayors around the country talking about lifting up our uh, cities by our booming economy and the jobs again, unemployment again, child tax credit. They doubled the child tax credit, which is great, benefiting 40 million American families. So that's good, lifting 650,000 single mothers and children out of poverty. Well, okay, but still, they can't afford lawyers, can they? When What is wrong with our civil justice system, folks? What is wrong with our civil justice system that you have to go broke to defend yourself in court? You need to go broke to defend yourself for a divorce. You need to go broke, and you need to put a second mortgage on your home just to get justice in the court system. Why does it take 8 years, folks, to get a divorce just to have justice? Why does it take 8 years? Why does anybody have to spend 8 years in the legal system for divorce, when you're not even talking about a lot of assets? I mean, come on. We're working people, and we're being fleeced. And, you think that people who are just divorcing or complaining, because it's not like that. The system destroys you. It absolutely destroys you in every way. And they don't care. They could care less. They're making money off of it. Just like the whole point of what's playing out in Congress right now is to expose the corruption. Everybody says, oh, yeah, government's corrupt. No, you don't know how corrupt it is. It's more corrupt than you could ever imagine. And this is what the president is exposing. So, I give him a lot of credit for doing that. At his own expense. He's taking the arrows himself, this impeachment and all this. He's taking a lot of abuse and a lot of arrows. But I know he's really a good man, and he's doing this for the benefit of our country, that there's good things coming. And all the naysayers, you can complain all you want. You can, I'm talking about the facts, the things that you can see what the president has done, how he's making deals, how he's going to bring prosperity back to this country. And wait until he's reelected, folks. Wait until he's reelected. What I'm hearing is going to come is really wonderful. Really wonderful things are going to come after the next election, because we're going to be past this point of exposing the corruption, and we're going to be able to move faster with progress. We're going to have these, I suppose he's going to have to wait for the new, I'm sorry, look how long these transcripts are. I don't want to read all of this out. We'll wait until the new election, and then we're going to have wonderful things, more wonderful things happening. And, there's a lot of things I can't talk about, so I'm not going to until I'm permitted to talk about it. But, I have a lot of reason for reporting the things that I report. So anyway, bill announcements. President signed into law the Preventing Illegal Radio Abuse Through Enforcement Act, or the Pirate Act, which authorizes enhanced penalties for pirate radio broadcasters and requires the FCC to increase enforcement activities. And then, of course, this is interesting, securing American nonprofit organizations. Excuse me, I need to take a sip of tea. Hold on. Okay. Securing American Nonprofit Organizations Against Terrorism Act of 2019. This is quite interesting, which authorizes within the Department of Homeland Security a nonprofit security grant program to make grants to eligible nonprofit organizations for target hardening and other security enhancements to protect against terrorist attacks. I mean, who knew that there were such, nonprofit organizations that, you know, are for target hardening and other security enhancements? You'd think that would just be a complete commercial entity. You always, we have to use greater scrutiny on all these nonprofit organizations, don't we? Because like the Clinton Foundation, what were they doing? You're going to find out when when all these reports and Huber's report and everything comes out. Horowitz already had his report, but we still have to find out. There's still a lot of information that's going to come out after this FISA declass comes out. All of this stuff comes out. We're going to find out all these these were the transnational corporations from Davos, but all of these countries, foreign countries, were paying the Clinton Foundation. They were using it as a foreign agent, not as a 501c3. That's what's going to come out. And then you're going to find out what deals, talk about making deals, but this was selling out America. Here we are talking about the dishonest impeachment case. Today marks the end of the House Democrats' 3-day presentation of their historically weak articles of impeachment against the president. Starting tomorrow, the president will have a chance to respond to Democrats' dishonest case. So that's, this is put out today. I guess they'll be in session tomorrow. This is what it's saying, or do they mean Monday? I'm not quite sure. But what's good to know is that this is the end of the Democrats' 3-day theatrical political theater. Okay, and then now the stage is set. Get ready, because they're going to get ripped apart. And this is where, I think people who are getting tired and getting triggered of watching the Democrats' desperate attempt to avoid prosecution for their crimes, indictments for their crimes. That's what this is about. It's not about the president. He didn't do anything wrong. Schiff lied multiple times that he had seen evidence of collusion between President Trump and Russia. Of course, the Mueller report exposed that as a left-wing hoax, so Schiff just moved on to Ukraine. So Schiff tried to repeatedly mislead the public. All of these things are proven false. So it's all going to come out, folks. Now it's time to get your popcorn. Now you can tune in, because now you're going to see some real prosecution. You're going to watch the attorneys rip apart their case piece by piece. It shouldn't take long, because there was no crime. There's no crime. So you have to acquit him. But what's interesting is, what will happen afterwards? Will this be null and void? Will this be dragged out for the rest of the year so that it interfered with his presidency? Will this be wiped out? Will this overrule the voice of the people? What will happen? We don't know yet. We'll wait and find out. And so here's the president's photo from the annual March for Life gathering today in DC. And here he was. This is the whole transcript of his speech today. So you can come to the blog and take a look at it as well. I think that unborn children have never had a stronger defender in the White House. And the Bible tells us each person is wonderfully made. It's so wonderful. So it's great. It's great to have God back in the country. It's great to have God back, in the White House. And I'm not talking about Donald Trump as God. I just mean he's bringing God and prayer back into the schools. It's okay to do that now. That's really wonderful. Yeah. Schiff in the Standard Hotel. Exactly, folks. When is all that going to come out? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Fresh website for Canada. Okay. So let's just see what are the other items that we're going to close up with, because there's so much to talk about, and I can't possibly talk about all of them, because it's just way too much, way too much stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the Q, because this is where, for my POTUS reports, I'm always going to tie Q into what's currently happening, because it really is very telling. whoever Q is, we don't know. But what we do know is that Q is giving us some background information on what's happening. And we can see it reflecting in what the president's doing because the Q posts coordinate with president's posts. Shot heard around the world. This was about Lexington and Concord, of course, but it was also about what was happening in Virginia. Virginia ended up, having a peaceful assembly of law-abiding gun owners. Not one shot was fired, folks. Peaceful, law-abiding. That's the underscore that word there. Do not infringe. Very clear. Do not infringe. However, they still passed the red flag law despite the fact that there were all those militia people and Americans and patriots there protesting their gun confiscation laws. So again, infringement of our constitutional rights. The Great Awakening, the silent war continues, and I wanted to start here because I wanted to reiterate that that's what's happening here. It's a silent war. That's why we have the need for Q to kind of give us this intel drop to show what's going on behind the scenes. A lot of us know about this already. We've been hearing about it for so long now, since Q came on the scene in 2017, right after the Las Vegas attacks. Actually, some would say maybe just a week before, because they did post in advance. Someone on the Chan board posted in advance that something was going to happen in Las Vegas. And so there were people who had foreknowledge who were posting. Okay. Impeachment scam. Democrats attempt to protect themselves from prosecution. It's what we just said. That's what this is about. And, you have the big five leaders of the Democrat Party right here that Q is posting about. Leverage control dictates how far you rise within the Democrat Party. And then you have Q here posting the speech from President Eisenhower warning us of the military-industrial complex. And if you know anything about the GoldFish Report, if you know about our news page, we're not just doing interviews and reports of our own. We are nearly 24/7 news source. So we are posting all the news all the time on Twitter and on our Facebook news page. And if you go to our page, and I'll just share it really quick. Actually, I am on screen share. Let me just take some personal stuff off of here so I can screen share this for everybody. Oh, what's interesting is they blocked out, Facebook blocked out some things. Okay. So I'm going to screen share for our viewers our news pages, okay? Because I wanted to bring to your attention that this is what it's about. Here's our Twitter page. And we are talking about the speech that President Kennedy gave, which was warning us of essentially the same thing. And here is our Facebook page. I'm not quite sure if that screen shared properly, but I'm going to re-screen share it. That says essentially the same thing. Okay, here's our almost 24/7 news page. Here it is. These are our recent posts. These are photos and videos of me reporting from the White House. And look at this. Facebook is claiming this is false information. This is, I'm going to say see photo, because this is a quote. This is a quote by John F. Kennedy, and they're saying this is fake, that this is not true. There's a plot in this country to enslave every man, woman, and child. Before I leave this high and noble office, I intend to expose this plot. This is an extension of the military-industrial complex speech. They continue to try to warn us, right? So isn't that nice? And so they're saying this is not an actual quote because they're, AI linguistic bots don't understand the context. Pragmatics, that aspect of linguistics, the AI doesn't seem to get, which is why it seems to just arbitrarily ban things. Seems like it has no reason to do that. So I wanted to screen share that. All of these press releases, folks, you can find here on the GoldFish Report news page. You can go to the blog. You can look for that as well there if you'd like to. Here you have Gwyneth Paltrow poses with floral vagina as at Netflix series event. And I'm saying this because, you know what, in context of the impeachment hoax, it almost seems like this is more interesting. Like, it looks pretty, right? Look at all those flowers. But, it's crazy, though. What is she promoting on Netflix? Why does she need to stand in front of a floral image of that? What on earth is she? It's crazy, folks, crazy. But it's probably better than watching the impeachment hoax. It's probably better than watching the Democrats. Because I don't know. I wouldn't really recommend it anyway. But anyway, so we have Virginia Senator Chase calling for Governor Northam to resign immediately. I reported on her last week. And we have crazy stuff going on all over the world, folks. So please go. Yes, we have this major virus now that we have to deal with, this coronavirus. There's lots of people in quarantine, and of course on the Twitter page, I do have So the Chinese were eating cooked whole bats in spicy water and thought it was healthy. The result is the coronavirus being spread everywhere. People are falling dead on the streets in China. Now it's spreading in the United States. 2 words: travel ban. I don't know how far this is going to go. I don't know how serious it's going to be here for us, but be on the lookout, folks. I don't know what they're doing. Know that people are protesting in France. They really want to get rid of Macron. There's so much going on. There's a lot of news to report. So go to the GoldFish Report page, check it out. See all the latest news is posted here, and even on our, and this is funny, Eric Trump today posted this about Obama spying on the Trump Tower. I just love it. You have to have a sense of humor with this, or you're really just going to go nuts, honestly. But there's lots of good stuff posted here. Of course, here is the quid pro quo, just in case anyone missed it and you wanted to hear it again. I'm going to play it for you right now.
You have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him.
Here you go.
They were walking out to press conference. I said, no. I said, I'm not going to, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time.
Council on Foreign Relations. See where he's sitting, folks? The whole thing is all a sham. It's all a scam against us. It's, trilateral commission. That's who's making the laws. It's not by the people. They're making the laws, folks. So I just want to ask everybody, I want to thank you all for joining me. I want to thank everyone for joining me. Look, I mean, I was just making a comment that, it's probably more interesting to watch what Gwyneth Paltrow was doing than it was, this impeachment, the farce that was, the theater that was showing. I had a feeling I was going to get some heat over this. I don't care. Look, you got to have a sense of humor. You got to lighten up about this somehow, because it's like, I mean, you're right. It means crown. How is Biden not in custody? No, he will be. He will be. Sleepy Joe, Creepy Joe, he will be. Yeah, go back to bed. Exactly. So, to any of the viewers, anybody who's watching, have any questions about the material that I presented, or do you have any comments that you want to add? Because it's 9 o'clock now. It's been an hour. I really didn't want to do this long of a POTUS report, but there was a lot to talk about. Please go to the goldfishreport.blogspot.com if you'd like to take a look at all of those transcripts. I will be doing another bullet points presentation. Now, don't forget that I do special academic reviews on a policy review on an area of policy that the president focuses on. Has to do with the president or has to do with the Constitution in some way. And we are going to focus on the Second Amendment. And because the president has been vocal, very vocal about the Second Amendment, that is going to be our next bullet points presentation. And if you remember, the way the bullet points works is that I present the first half an hour or so, on YouTube, and then you really have to want to know the policy, because then the rest of it is like another hour's worth on Vimeo for a few bucks. You can access it there and rent it or buy it or whatever, because it's a lot of time. And I got to pay off those college loans that taught me how to do all of that. So I've got some pretty steep graduate school loans to pay off, folks, and this is why I do what I do. So I went and studied public policy, so that's why I do this. Thank you, Barbara. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being a Patreon. Exactly. You can be a Patreon too. Micro funding is also helpful, keeps it going. I think you all know I'm very dedicated to this. I'm not planning on going anywhere, despite the things that I've had to put up with. I mean, I'm talking, threats on my life, on my family, on, literal physical attacks on my face from these weapons, these or whatever they are, these microwaves. Who knows what they are, but it's been a lot. It's been difficult. And of course, being a member of the press, it's been held against me in the court. So I have a major First Amendment suit going on right now. And it also includes, it's very serious. That's why this is happening. It's very serious. And it will one day be public. I'm not going to talk about the details of it now, but folks, just realize that everyone's First Amendment argument is anyone's First Amendment lawsuit is everyone's First Amendment argument. It really is, because we have to still fight for our freedom from the enemy within, and that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with an enemy within. Yes, Las Vegas was a hoax. Do I ever think of doing a live with Fulford? I have thought of it, but he's in Tokyo, and the time zone, we do pre-recording because we can do we have more flexibility with regard to time zones, but doing it live, I have to start recording at 6:00 in the morning. So who would be watching? Because Fulford, he's in Tokyo, so he's got, let's see, 9. Actually, I could do it late at night, and he could, but I don't, fare well at night. I'm tired. I don't sleep well because I have the frequencies. These microwaves on these poles from me interfere with my sleep every single night. So I'm not sure that I would really be able to stay up that late. But I have thought about doing a live stream with Fulford. I think he would do it. In fact, so I might consider it sometime. Now, it doesn't feel like I have ants crawling anywhere. I mean, although sometimes I do feel like on this side, I have felt like like a hair, like I feel things on this just one side, but not on my whole face or body or anything like that. But yeah, I need the protection. Prayers are really helpful always. And look, whoever I want to make it very clear too, whoever I have on and whoever I interview on GoldFish Report, it's not that, I have been able to validate what people present. I'm allowing people to tell their story. I'm allowing people to, if it's somewhat reasonable, I can't personally validate whether Audrey Ewis came here from New Lyria. There's no way for me to personally validate that. But I do know him personally, and I can tell you he's not from here. This is my opinion. But anyway, Fulford, that there's a lot of things that Fulford says that I think a lot of people take issue with. Not everybody, believes that he gets accurate information. I'll say that. Some of his information is accurate, and some maybe of his sources are not accurate. People may believe that. But I let people tell, that's their testimony. That's their responsibility. But I'm giving you the platform so that you can see it for yourself, and you can use your own discernment and decide for yourself. So I don't present people because I necessarily support them or support exactly what they're saying, like Jim Fetzer and I. I mean, I'll tell you something. Iran almost cost us our friendship, but it didn't. But I'm telling you, I never had a dispute with Jim like I have when it comes to Iran. I just haven't. And we're both very passionate for pursuit of truth. We've both made many sacrifices for the pursuit of truth, but we disagree on this. And we have to wait and see a little bit more evidence of how it's going to come out. Because, yeah, exactly. When it comes to Fulford, when it comes to the dragons, any of the dragons, look, I can't validate them. I don't know who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Everybody, I've never seen galactic forces. I've never seen, I've seen UFOs, but I mean, I've never seen the Galactic Federation. I don't know who these channelers are. And, you often have one anonymous source kind of calling out another anonymous source. It's like, you're kidding me, right? Really? You expect us to take that seriously? You have an anonymous source trying to say this other anonymous source is not valid. I'm just like, you know what? I present it. I ask, I think, good questions, and it's up to the viewer to decide and use your own discernment. I think you do appreciate the people I bring on GoldFish Report. I try to stay away from topics that are, I don't know, too difficult, but I do want people to expand their thinking and to expand their mind. So I understand, and the dragons, like the whole thing about the dragons is very kind of mysterious. Yeah, right, Sherry. I know. Audrey's, having a little tough time with his recovery right now too. So Biden will win presidency on Mars in 2345. Harley Man, hey, thank you. And I also see your comments in the comment section, Harley Man. And I want to tell you thank you for your comments because I notice you. I notice a lot of the viewers here, commenting in the comment section. So I do appreciate that. So, I mean, I could stay on all night and chat with you guys. This is why I do GoldFish Report. I do it for you guys because, I do my research. I find this information out. I do what I do, and I could keep it to myself, but I think I'd rather share it with you all. And I do it because I just basically love y'all. I really do. I'm a loving person, and I'm a mom, and I just want to give you information so that as a mom or as a dad or as a brother, as a sister, as a husband, as a wife, you can make the best choices for yourself. And if I can provide some of that information for you, it's about quality of life. It's about being informed as you can so you can make the best decisions for yourself. I do the best I can. And as long as you're there with me, folks, I appreciate you all the more. I really do. I appreciate every one of you. So thank you, Blue Moon Mom. Absolutely. There's so much I want to report on, folks, that I just can't yet. And one day I will. There's a lot more that I have to report on, stuff that you're not going to hear anywhere else. But I have to wait for the right time to report on that stuff. And I've already had some death threats. I've had my YouTube channel, my original YouTube channel deleted and my 3 blogs deleted. And so I'm chilling out for right now on some of the, more, I would say, look, it's all truth. And the issue is, truth is in this day and age, a risk. I mean, you can risk your life telling the truth, as you saw Seth Rich, as you see what Julian Assange is going through. Telling the truth is we need protection to get the truth out so people can make educated choices for themselves. So yeah, what's going on in Australia? This is interesting. I just spoke to Tim Emsley just before I came on tonight. I was hoping he was going to jump in and join us, but he's it's a little bit late there for him, actually early the next day, but he's already off on his schedule of things that he's doing. Okay, so the donations were all sent to Tim, and I am waiting for Tim to update us on where those funds are being spent. If you wanted to know, and I can screen share this for folks, this is a picture of, I'm going to screen share this. I just saw this on Twitter today. Of course, we know that there's massive floods now in Australia because all that brush was burnt away. Now the floods are going. It's really heartbreaking to see what's going on down there. This is apparently new grassy trees already blooming in the wake of the Australian wildfires. So it's kind of interesting to see this new growth. It's a little strange, I would say. I'm not sure that's how trees grow, but I don't know what's growing. It looks like some kind of grass. I don't know what it is. But I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I'm going to ask Tim, who lives down in Australia, who I report with. I'm going to ask him to look into this a little bit more and find out what this is and what's going on. But I do, that's interesting. That must be one of the first areas that, where the fires had been extinguished. And so in terms of, yeah, Winston, it breaks my heart to have to report this. Winston, I don't know when he's going to be available, to be honest with you. I have no idea. What happened to Winston is very unjust. Winston, tried to find a way to resolve the mortgage crisis here in the United States. And, there were people who didn't like it, Like I said, there's a power transition model going on the planet, the entire planet right now. The old guard, it's the changing of the old guard. That's what it is. And also, one of the things I wanted to do before we go is I wanted just to finish screen sharing some of the Q posts, because, I reported on Q from the very, very beginning. I used to do some of the decodes and stuff, but, it got to be more important, I found, to get the overall message, because you can really, look at the minutia of everything. I already knew it, so I didn't really feel like, because I had, my inside sources, and so I didn't really feel like I needed to kind of I focus on that because there were other people doing it, so I didn't feel like I needed to as well. But I just felt like getting the overall gist of what was going on, I thought was more important, and how it all, fits together. And here you have the president. This is major chess move. This is 5 of 5, folks. That's what I think. Clean castle. They're talking about castling, which is a move in chess. So it's like I don't know how to play chess, so I'm not going to try to explain it. But here, they're talking about this is a signal of a next phase, in my opinion. So, and of course, there's also a Q in the reflection of the Marine's hat over there. So, very interesting stuff, folks. Very fascinating. I'm just going to go through it real quick. They're talking about declassification chain of command. What storm, Mr. President? Well, you remember that, right? Looking forward to that flood, sir. What storm, Mr. President? You'll see, he said, remember? So I think we're getting to that point. We're getting to that point now when his legal team is going to start presenting the case. This is it. You're watching the destruction of the old guard right now, folks. You're going to watch it starting. If it's tomorrow, then it'll start tomorrow. What about, and now there's a new article out about what Obama knew about Biden's and Burisma holdings. So you'll find that out. Yep, Brexit approved. UK will leave the EU. Justice Department believes it should have ended surveillance of Trump earlier. So this is all part of it, folks. It's all part of it. Here we have DNC payment to CrowdStrike, May, August of 2016. Corrupt Democrats fighting for their lives to keep media and the government focused on POTUS. Don't worry, it won't be boring forever. Good, because we're really, it just gets so monotonous listening to it. It really does. Okay, so there's more going on here. Rubber bullets sting but do not last. They're talking about FISA. They're talking about the data collection. They're talking about the FISA warrants and the declassified. Ted Cruz was also spied on. And of course, Rudy Giuliani to reveal Democrat corruption in Ukraine and their plot to destroy the Trump campaign. So all of this is going on. Yep, as I reported, massive crowds in France rallying against Macron tonight. They want him removed. And in terms of Rudy Giuliani, I will screen share a little bit of this video. Where'd it go? Here's Rudy. Just so you can see what this is about. He's common sense. He's doing like his own little blog. And then I'm gonna close out for tonight. But I'm going to let you hear this. I want you to hear this first.
So today we face this very divisive, very startling, very difficult process of government in which, think about it, a group, a partisan group, has initiated a proceeding to remove the President of the United States less than 1 year before the people get to make that decision in November of this year. Again, I emphasize, this is being done, and every day that goes by, as they work their way through it, we're getting closer and closer to the time when you get to make the decision about your president and don't have at least one of those decisions taken away from you by a partisan group. So what are these articles?
Okay, so you can just Google this, because this is the new Rudy Giuliani videos. It's on YouTube under Rudy W. Giuliani. And I remember when he had much more hair. He's, he was the mayor of New York, as you all know, during 9/11. And I'm in the New York tri-state area. So we called him Uncle Rudy. Actually, I met him at a fundraiser one night. And he was, he said he spent so much time in New Jersey. They're going to ask him to start paying taxes here, because at that time his son went to school here. So, and I think he spent a lot of time here as well in New Jersey. So he knows Donald Trump very well. This is why he's Donald Trump's attorney, and very interesting stuff. So go check it out. You can see what that's all about. And thank you so much. No matter what's all above love here, judgment. Oh, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for that super chat. I do appreciate it. It does help keep the channel going. Yes. Yeah, these guys are behaving really strange. I mean, Schiff's odd behavior. I showed you what Chuck Schumer was doing, talking to talking to the invisible person. These are our lawmakers, folks. They call the president, unstable, and they're talking to invisible people. This is crazy. And of course, Nancy Pelosi hasn't been around. Has anybody seen Nancy Pelosi? Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Barbara. You're right. You were in New Jersey, exactly. New Jersey's a tough place, I'll tell you, folks. It's very tough. Everybody's got a a gangster nickname here. Maybe one day I'll share you what mine is. Just as a joke. Gotta have some sense of humor, folks. So that's it. Oh, I know. Isn't that terrible, Blue Moon Mom? Yeah, what she wrote. I don't want to say it. Well, yeah, they may be running out of adrenochrome, which is terrible. Yeah, because Trump closed look, that's why we have the border wall, right? It's to stop the trafficking, to stop the trafficking of children, the trafficking of drugs. One of the things that the president did talk about that I forgot to mention was the fentanyl, that, the deal and the issue with Xi Jinping had to do with stopping all that fentanyl from coming into the United States. And, president's very serious about it. He doesn't even drink coffee and tea, let alone drink alcohol. This guy is very, very against drugs and illicit drugs, like that. And he knows what it's doing. It's destroying our families and our kids. He knows that people aren't, this is how brilliant Trump is. I'm going to say this. He knows that by improving the economic situation of the country, that he's going to remove the desire and the need for people to have to go to drugs. Okay? That's how you stop it. You stop it by improving the economic conditions so people don't feel the sense of hopelessness and go to drugs to begin with. Okay, there's many reasons why people use drugs, but you know what? A lot of times it's because people have a sense of hopelessness. And at least that's the approach. The president and the first lady have been very, very proactive about opioid addiction and trying to stop that. And yeah, exactly. And you know what? And if people want to, complain about how I support the president, how I articulate the president's policies. I don't care. I don't really care if you want to. You could do it if you want to, but if you're going to be rude and you're not going to back it up with facts in my comment section, I'm going to delete you. Okay? I'll probably ban you from commenting on the channel, because if you're going to comment, put your facts down. If you're going to criticize, you're going to counter what I have to say, then put the facts in. Now, it's not what I have to say, it's what the president, I'm reporting what the president's doing. So if you want to try to counteract or to debate what the president's doing, please put your facts in the comment section. So I'm not preaching. I'm just trying to clean up my comment section. Thank you all. I really appreciate you all being here and being in the live chat. I might keep this a regular. I'm going to see how this works on Friday nights. Not all Friday nights I'll be able to do it, because I'm sure I'm probably going to want to have to go out some Friday night, to the theater or something. Who knows what? But but we'll see. Hopefully Friday nights I'll do the live stream POTUS reports, because I really love interacting with all of you. I really do. You're so smart. You're very, you're on top of it. Yes, Trump is God sent. He has to be, to clean up the mess on this planet. He absolutely has to be. And I don't care what you say about my comments. I really don't. If you don't like that I say that about the president, I don't really care. You're a troll. Trolls will be removed from the comment section, just so you know. So yeah, in Broward, we're opioid capital, so it's devastating. I'm sorry to hear that. Operation Theater, Broward. That's the thing. That's why we need to, yeah, I'll bring Alex back. Alex will come back. He'll come back. Alex has basically said that the cleanup, I could keep talking all night, folks. I can't do this. Alex has said that the cleanup process is basically done. I'm sorry, that the job is done. Right now we're in the cleanup process. I think there's a lot of things. There's a lot of evidence. There's other intel that I have that I don't talk about. There's things that people tell me that I have to, protect my sources, and especially if they say it's not time to talk about it, I can't. But I can tell you that I can validate that from other sources. Now, are those sources wrong too? I don't know. I don't think so. But I'm sorry about that. It's really heartbreaking. It has been a problem in New Jersey as well. It's been a problem in a lot of cities, a lot of places, a lot of communities. It's hit a lot of people hard. And, my heart goes out to people who suffer with addiction. It really does. It's very, very difficult. Very difficult. So we just hope and pray for them. Hope and pray for their souls, that they find the strength to fight it, and find some reason, to not destroy themselves that way. Mon Smith, you want to what do you want to help with? Yeah, I'm in. All right, Harley, man. Hey, I don't usually talk about personal stuff, but I almost went to a prom on a Harley Roadster. Almost. No, I went first class in a Duster instead, with duct tape on the seats. But hey, I didn't want my dress getting stuck in the the motorcycle wheels. So anyway, yeah, that was a long time ago. So, oh my God, my skin's so itchy. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Pray for humanity, folks. Well, I'd love to continue talking to everybody, but I want to just thank you all for being here, and thank you to the viewers who donated the super chat tonight. I do appreciate that. We are going to have, just so I can announce this, we're going to have another live stream Q&A. This has to be done so it helps us support not only my channel, but the guests that come on. They need the support too. Everything is split 50-50 with my guests, just so you know. Whatever super chats come in when I do a live Q&A, it's all split. I mean, it's the only fair way to do it. So I do split that with the the other half goes towards, the expenses of the channel and all of the the platforms that we have to do our news. And yeah, Britain, bye later, Gator. And so that is how we help to support the channel and the guests who come on, because there's a lot of time and expense in preparing these and bringing guests on. So Alex will probably come back. We're going to have also Ray Keller coming on the Goldfish Report on February. No, what day is it? Sorry, on February 1st. Yeah, on January 31st on a Friday night. So I'm gonna have to do POTUS Report earlier. We're going to have a super soldier Duncan O'Finian coming on, and he's going to answer questions. It's very interesting the work Duncan does. He does all kinds of spiritual cleansing, removal of curses. I mean, if you're even possessed, he could help you with that. He really knows how to do those things really well. But he's also going to talk about life as a super soldier and the unacknowledged special access projects that he was involved in. It's going to be very interesting. You can watch out for that. That will be a live Q&A, and Duncan really needs the help too, and so does everybody, and so does the Goldfish Report. So Duncan's going to be on the 31st. Rob Potter is going to be on February 1st. And let me see, what else do I have? And Miles, that's going to be a very busy, the whole weekend is shot. I'm going to be working the whole weekend. That's okay. And then February 2nd is going to be Miles Johnston, and the topic's going to be 5G, folks. So get your questions and answers ready, because Miles, as an engineer, can help you understand the risks that's going on. Audrey Ewis is still in recovery, having some complications, but still in recovery. I think he's going to be all right. Cobra, I have no idea what's going on with Cobra. He doesn't, want to do interviews with us anymore. I don't know why. I've never said that publicly before, but obviously he doesn't, because he's doing interviews with other people. So whatever, he could do whatever he wants. It's fine. So yeah, it was a Sportster. What did I call it? A Sportster. Yeah, I got it confused. Like I said, Harley, man, it was a long time ago. It had a V-twin motor. It was a Sportster, and it was loud. Okay, everybody, I've said enough. All right, Harley, man, awesome. Thank you for being here, and thank you for making sure you're coming back, because one of the things I do like to do is support our veterans, our military veterans, and that's why Winston, a retired military Marine Corps USMC veteran, was one of my co-hosts. That's why Jim Fetzer, retired Marine Corps officer, is another co-host of mine. That's why I bring on all these veterans who come on and tell us their stories, and it's very interesting. I totally support our veterans and our military, and I love y'all. So yeah. Yes, I don't know why Trump is really pushing 5G. See, this is what we have to talk about. We have to talk about exactly, William Hanna, exactly. It's very concerning. Why is Trump pushing 5G? I don't know. I don't know if he's being, misled. I don't know if he's not fully informed on it, or whether he's going to pull the plug last minute. I don't know. I don't know what Trump's doing. Is there any safe way of is there any safe usage for 5G? I don't know. See, that's why we're going to have Miles on, who's going to talk about all of this. And hopefully we'll get all those questions answered then, okay? So, yeah. So everybody, thank you for being here. I really would love to stay with you all night, but I've got to publish this so other people can watch this and I can get it published and it can go out. I will tell everybody, I will tell Audrey Ewis that people were asking for him. He will be back soon. Tomorrow night on Ascension Radio, Goldfish Report will have one of our archived reports playing on Ascension Radio for tomorrow night. We're not going to be live tomorrow night, I don't think. Yeah. Exactly, Freedom Glory. He isn't stupid. He must know it's death. I don't know. Concerns me. Trust me, it concerns me. I don't understand everything the president does. Trust me. And it was talked about at Davos. It absolutely was talked about at Davos. And you know, again, if my channel had the support, I could have applied for press credentials and I could have been there and I could have been reporting on exactly what was discussed. But I don't have, you know, I don't have that kind of support. I do need underwriters for the channel, and I would be there and I would be reporting for you, for everybody. And that's what we need to do in time, I suppose, right? So thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. It was great spending my Friday night with y'all. And yeah. A massive DNC hanging in public, starting with HRC, Harley Man. We have to hold these people accountable. What's going to come out is going to shock everybody, I think. People need to be ready for what's coming, be prepared. There might be some very disgusting things regarding Adam Schiff being revealed very soon. Who knows what Rudy Giuliani is going to be revealing soon, but you just need to get... Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you to all of you. I really appreciate you all being here and following GoldFish Report. Please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, you can become a Patreon on our Patreon page, and you can get early releases of special interviews that we do. Also, you can, you know, if you wanted to just make a donation, you can go to our website. There's a PayPal link there as well, or Super Chats, whatever works for you. So thank you all very much, and we'll see you. We're going to be a little bit quiet for the next few days, but we will be reporting, you know, when the president's attorneys start presenting their case. We will be reporting that too. So we'll see. That's why it's hard for me to announce in advance when I'm going to be live, because it all depends on what the news is. So I do appreciate you making sure that you get the notifications when we do go live, and when you do thank you, Freedom Glory, and when you do you know, when we do publish new videos, this way you can get the notification of that. So I do get to kind of I like to interact with you guys. It does bring out a little bit more of you know, of my own, you know, personality a little bit. And you know, I can, you know, I do enjoy people, so it's nice to bring that out, and it's nice to share that with you. And we'll see what happens. And we'll be back on Monday with another episode of Political Theater with Jim Fetzer. So we'll see what stories Jim's going to have, and it's a different, completely different platform that we've had. I decided to do POTUS Report, strictly POTUS, separate, and Jim and I continue with Political Theater, because that's really what Jim, you know, published a book called Political Theater, and he lays it all out. So it seems to be a platform that we're working out, and it works out really good. So nothing's happened to Jim. You know, we just changed the name of the report we're doing, and I do a separate POTUS report that I do live with all of you. So now I do it with you. I do it with you now. So thanks everybody for being here. I'm going to sign off now. Have a really great night, Friday night. It was a pleasure to be with you. Thank you for joining me. And so to all the viewers who are not on the live stream, this, you know, this was live. So just so you know, of course you could tell. And we'll be back with more reporting for you. So everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for your support. And this concludes this edition of the GoldFish Report. Thanks for viewing.